I can't, right here, sorry.
Where are you going?
Oh, I didn't
My
count.
sound is okay?
Okay, am I good? I can't reach the ground.
Thank you so much for joining us today. You could literally be doing anything else, but you're here with us, and we so appreciate you. For those of you who are new and just tuning in, I am your hostess with the mostest, Jizzy, and we are just a couple of moms who are on a mission to create a safe space for other moms and dads, or anyone really, to share in the hardships and the joys of parenting while also being able to laugh at yourself. And as usual, I'm joined by my lovely, vivacious co-host, Harleen.
Okay, well, first of all, holy moly, and that was an amazing intro. Oh, hold on, I gotta get myself together here. I don't know what's going on with the hat. So, thank you, Giselle, and oh my God, it's been a whole year, and again, we want to thank everybody who's streaming in and celebrating. Oh, not there, over there. We have a fun-filled evening for you guys with past guests Patricio and Barbara. A special guest appearance by Giselle's mom, Lourdes, and my baby boy. He's in the studio, Jaden. He's probably embarrassed. I've been embarrassing him all day already. So he's probably like, stop it, Mom. So our ham team is also here. We will get them on the panel. And Giselle and I want to thank you all for, I want to thank you for trusting me to be your co-host, giving me the safe space to be vulnerable, to cry, to learn, and most importantly, the shenanigans.
Those are the best part.
My favorite part.
Totally, me too. And before we get started, we just wanted to announce a new line of merch that we are dropping. So we've joined forces with Legal Hustle Clothing to bring you Mother Hustler.
Mother Hustler.
So it's for the dopest who just wake up, show up, and bring it. And so thank you so much, Albert. The shirts are sick. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Albert from Legal Hustle, for creating this special line with us. You went above and beyond and exceeded our expectations. If you haven't already, you should check out Dope Dad episode number 9 on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. It's a good one. Also, we have Mo in the background. He's going to drop that link. So go out and watch it.
Yeah, so speaking of past guests, I want to kick off the celebration by taking a look at all the guests we've had the absolute privilege of sitting down and chatting with this past year. We roll the clip.
I found out, my parents flipped. They were not happy.
These experiences about like being called the N-word and having rocks thrown at me on the bus and stuff like that.
Like when I started putting it publicly out on Instagram, like I went through this.
Yeah.
I started getting a lot of like text messages, DMs, like from other dads.
So you're trying to figure out the strategies that work best for your child, for you and your child, right?
Yeah, kids are like the ultimate yoga practice. Like you have to be there and present.
Thank you for giving me courage to be who I needed to be, who I was created to be. That kind of just puts you into critical survival mode.
The 2020 was my first Mother's Day without her, and I was like, how the hell do I do this? Like,
here's the short point of when you fucked up. When you called our daughter a motherfucker, let's rewind to that.
Just be fucking kind.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. You never know, and be there for each other.
The man who like truly supports me through all of this, I feel like I'm not giving him enough of my time. You know?
Even in the case of like say head or anal or anything like that, these things that could seemingly be one-sided, that's not necessarily the case.
I enjoy it. Training is fun for me, and it's part of my life. It's part of my husband's life, and now our kids. So,
average age of entry of a child into the commercial sex trade industry is 12 to 14.
our youngest girl that we take care of right now, she's 4.
So we sort of just continued our group chat, and that was somewhere that I turned to like every day just for like that support and to feel like I wasn't alone. And
there's no woman alive that's gonna replace her, and that I truly miss her.
And we would never tolerate if like a guy was standing here saying like, you're stupid, you're ugly, you're this, you're that. But then we tolerate doing it to ourselves for
Actually manifesting or coming towards you, like if you feel like it should be yours, go for it. And don't give up.
So it kind of helped me to step back and remember that I was Jax before I was mom.
Smells that make you gag.
Vomit, tequila, and Jack Daniels.
My mom always says it's like God just gave you everyone back.
Yeah.
All at once.
And then some.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But I never thought that I would actually be in the position that I would have to consider any options. So I was very confused, to say the least.
And I don't think a lot of women like talking about it because it's probably something that they struggle with internally that they don't necessarily know how to express themselves.
I had plans for the year, right? I had these goals that I wanted to do. And finding out like the world's gonna be shut down, like really hit me pretty hard.
Like he will kill me. Like I was like, he is killing me slowly every day. And I'm like, but this is like to the point right now that like it's live or die. And he was like, I'll be right there.
Wow. We've had so much fun.
It's way too much fun. So over the last few days, we scrubbed through the videos and literally watched every single episode over and over again. I have to say, I am not the same person as I was last year. I have allowed myself to continue working on myself, being okay with not being okay, and giving into a different type of energy and releasing energy that no longer serves me purpose. I have met some incredible people who have enriched my life. I continue to strive to live an authentic life that is uncensored, unapologetic, and unfiltered. There are no words I can explain or describe the feeling. I continue to look forward to taking you on a journey to your own truth.
Yeah. So for a little bit of context for you guys, so why I started this podcast, we started obviously a year ago, and I was just thinking about, I was talking to Maria, shout out Maria, who was my original podcast partner, and I was telling her how, you know, I felt ashamed all the time for the things that I was doing as a mom, and for, you know, just trying my best every day and not feeling like I was good enough. And she said, well, I was like, I want to start a podcast to help other moms going through the same thing. And she's like, well, why don't you do it? And I was like, well, I don't know anything about podcasts, and I don't know, it's not my thing. And she's like, well, I think you're making excuses now. You can make it your thing if you want it to be your thing. So fast forward to today, this is where we are. And I never thought that it would get as far as it has. We started this, and I was recording at home via Zoom in my closet. And now we have this beautiful space and a team of amazing people who can put this together for us. And the biggest thing I've learned in the past year is that your tribe equals your vibe. And if you want things to go smoothly, you need to curate a group of people who will support you and who are in and not in the way. And so I've met some incredible people, and I'm proud to say that I found them and they contributed a lot to our success. So thank you guys.
Let's just say that a lot of our guests are now family, legit family.
For sure.
So thank you for allowing us into your space as you guys are coming into our space. We really, truly appreciate it.
Yeah, so here's the toast to Ham. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Cheers.
So Hendrix, we're still waiting for our sponsorship.
Yeah, Hara's drinking Hendrix today. So we obviously wanted to throw a big party, but the pandemic got in the way, as it always does. But maybe for a second birthday, we'll throw one hell of a party. So yeah, without further ado, let's welcome our first guest. He is Hara's reason why, and he's such a great kuya to his little cousins, and he's had to take care of Ava on multiple occasions. And she absolutely adores him. So let's welcome Jaden.
Yay!
Yay! Hi, Jaden.
Shout out to your friends. Are they all streaming?
Are your friends watching? Did you tell
Did
them?
you tell
to
them?
watch?
Did you tell them? Did you tell them how cool your mom is, that she has a podcast? What? What? That is super cool.
So thank you so much for being here. It was about time the world met the famous Jaden that your mom's always talking about on the podcast. So do you listen to your mom's podcast?
To some of them, yeah.
Yeah. Do you like kind of just pick and choose which ones you want to listen to? Like, oh, maybe I won't have to hear about my mom's personal life in this one. And
Don't watch Meet the Mamas Part 2.
So what's your favorite episode then?
My favorite episode has to be the one with my Tito RJ in it.
Yeah. And he's your role model.
Yeah, he's one of the.
Are you sure you want him to be a role model?
Yes.
Hands down.
Okay, fine. Fine.
Okay, so what is the best advice that your mom has given you?
I mean, that one's a tough one because she's given me a lot of advice. But
Tell them about the girl advices. I think
let him choose.
Let him choose the girl advices. Come on.
I mean, kind of that, but not really, because I kind of have dad's ways. But but probably one of the best is just treating other people on the way how you want to be treated, and teaching me and showing me that everyone's the same, no matter if you're green, blue, yellow, black, white, red. It doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter. So that's probably one of the best advice she's given me.
So yeah, you're raising one terrific gentleman.
Well, why don't you tell them the top 3 things that you should be instilled? What are the top 3 things that should be like in your life?
That's kind of a hard one, because I mean, you kind of give me everything that I have in my life, but I mean,
Remember when I said one was school, basketball, and your mom?
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, kind of.
Jaden, do you have a girlfriend?
I know.
No, I don't.
No?
Yes,
Are you sure?
I promise.
Okay. Because I want to know if he has a girlfriend. What is the most annoying thing that I do? It's okay. It's a safe space. But when we step out, you'll be grounded. So tread lightly.
Probably when you come in my room and play when I'm playing video games, because you do weird stuff in my room.
Like what? What weird stuff?
You just stare at me and watch me, and I don't even know you're there. Or
because I'm trying to ask for some attention. That's all I'm asking for.
Or you just ask me what I'm doing when I'm clearly playing video games in front of you.
Teenagers, I tell you.
Okay, well, aside from being annoying, is there anything you want the world to know about your mom and what she means to you?
What my mom means to me, she means a lot. She's probably one of the people that come first in my life. She's a very strong, independent woman. She's very loving, caring, and supportive. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
So what are you the most proud of with your mom and all of her accomplishments?
Probably, I need to choose my words wisely because we're here right now. But probably one of the most proud things of my mom is having her to raise me like by herself, with having an only child, and where we're at today. And yeah.
She did do a really good job.
Oh, thanks, Jaden. Just to let you guys know, Jaden started driving, and he got his learners. My question for you, Jaden, is who would you rather be teaching you how to drive, your mom or your dad?
I already know this one.
Dad.
And why?
Because you freak out in the car too much.
I do not. You're too close to the cars. Your turns are
Even
really wide.
I know that. I was like, Jaden, you started driving. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, but.
Although, guess who's driving me home tonight? Okay, what advice do you have for parents who are teaching their kids to drive?
Be patient, because you guys will start butting heads if you guys disagree on something. And I kind of already learned that the hard way, but just having the patience to learn it.
Yeah. My dad's here, and I cried when he taught me how to drive.
Did you teach her how to drive? Or Giselle's dad's here. Was she a good driver?
What?
Oh, he just said no.
Okay, I hit that tree
No.
one time, and now I'm
You
a
hit a
bad
tree?
Okay, this is about Jaden.
I didn't know that. It's okay, I also hit a tree too.
So, what are the most embarrassing things your mom does to you? Like, is there something that she does on a regular basis that you think is super embarrassing, or is there like one thing that sticks out in your mind where you're like, man, that was a really, really embarrassing moment and I'm never gonna live it down?
I mean, there's not really that many embarrassing moments, but probably one of the ones that gets to me, or that's just weird to me in general, is when my mom tells me when she's on her period. or when we're walking in public at the mall and she just randomly farts and looks at me and
Oh
just
my
walks
God,
away.
Jaden, did you really just tell the whole world that?
Mo can vouch for that.
You do that too, but I'm throwing you under the bus, I'm sorry.
Okay, but Ava's not here to talk about it, so
Ava's
we are
also
talking
red.
about your mom's farts, not Tita Ashley's farts, right?
So, Jaden, there's been a lot of changes during the pandemic, especially with kids being online school, no sports, they're unable to see the majority of their family and friends. What advice would you want to give parents on how to support their kids, especially more so teenagers, during the pandemic? What can we do as parents to make it a little easier for our kids who are also having a tough time during the pandemic?
Probably advice I would give is probably, like I said, being more patient, because some kids learn differently from the classroom compared to online, and like some parents out there, they get upset over like schoolwork and stuff, but times have changed a lot and it's very difficult learning online, especially for me, but most of it just patience.
I have a lot of patience. Do you think I have lots of patience?
Yes.
She does.
Why are you smiling?
I agree, you do.
I think I do have
Yeah, I
lots of
think you do.
patience.
Okay, so obviously, yeah, your mom raised you as a single parent, but she does tell me that your closet is probably worth more than a car because you have expensive tastes. So what, like when you want something, what do you have to do to like grease your mom? What do you do?
He legit does that and it like works. And he'll be like, why? But I'm your only son. Like he'll say that. Or he'll be like, hi mom. And he'll like literally sit. I'll be like, what do you want? But yeah.
Please don't give Ava tips because she's also an only child and that's probably not going to change. So.
But have you seen her face?
Yeah, but that's what you do to Jaden's face. And now look at his closet. He's got like $300 shirts hanging everywhere.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Jeez.
Well, it's working, so keep it up.
Well, Jaden, I'm super thankful that God made me your mom. Well, some days I pull my hair out with you, but I would do it all over again. You are a blessing and an amazing cheerleader. Honestly, you guys, I wouldn't be able to podcast. I wouldn't be able to hustle at work. I wouldn't be able to travel. I wouldn't be able to do anything if it isn't for my son really, truly being supportive. He's always there, gives me little notes and tells me to continue chasing my dreams. And that's coming from a 15-year-old. So I'm really thankful for the relationship that we work together. Because in the generation that I grew up in, it was always one-sided. It was never two-sided. Respect is earned. It's not given because someone's older than you. You have to mutually respect each other. And I think that's the one thing Jaden and I really work on.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I can attest to that because Jaden is always watching Ava when we have ham meetings. So thanks, Jaden, for always looking after her. I know she eats all your snacks and she's very demanding and rude to you, but you're like so patient. Like even when she tells on you and says that you hit her even though you didn't, like she's just like that.
Jaden, do you wish you had other siblings?
Yes and no.
Why yes and why no?
Yes, because I mean, I kind of get bored at home sometimes.
What, I'm not enough for you? Just kidding.
Says you come into his room and stare at him.
No, because I have friends and family, and they say their siblings are very, very annoying to them. And also no, because I kind of already have somewhat of 2 siblings to me.
Yeah. When you were 5 years old, what did you ask me? Like, where should we get a sibling?
Oh, to dig a hole to China and just get a baby.
Yeah, he literally asked me if we could buy a baby in China. And I was like, do you know where babies come from? They don't come from China.
So where did you learn that? Curious.
I don't know.
Well, thank you so much, Jaden. I really appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. All right. You can go now, Jaden. Thank you.
So guys, next, are you guys all ready to meet Giselle's mom? Giselle's mom has been one of her biggest supporter, and we want to chat with her and ask her a bunch of questions on her upbringing.
She studied for this, by the way. You're supposed to flip it over.
Oh, I'm sorry. Too much gin.
No, not yet.
Perfect. So, is it right here?
Yes, girl. Flip it.
Okay.
God, someone's been drinking too much.
I know. I shouldn't be drinking too much gin. So Lourdes is retired piping designer who spends her time as a doting Lola. For anybody who doesn't know what a Lola is, that means a grandma. She has 2 grandkids, except she refuses to show her age. First of all, let me tell you, my aunt looks damn good for her age. You can't even tell that's how old she is, okay? So they call her Mama. She's the first generation Filipino who graduated from St. Mary's. Shout out to all the St. Mary's. Before she got married and having 3 children, her love for her grandkids has inspired her to work on producing her own clothing line. So her take no shit attitude has been passed down to 3 generations and takes form in her sassy granddaughter. Let's welcome Jizzy's mom, Lourdes.
Go. Hi, Mom.
Hello. Oh, wait.
You want to grab a hat?
I'm not going to call her Lourdes, by the way. She's my godmother, so I'm going to call her Ninang. That's what I'm going to call her.
Okay, call her Ninang.
Now I can't read my notes.
That's okay, you studied,
That's okay.
right?
That's okay, you studied.
So my mom's rocking our ham sweaters. Oh, and should we tell them who actually embroiders this?
You know what? If anybody who's rocking their ham sweaters and you guys are watching, make sure to tag us as you're watching this. And do you actually know who embroiders that? Right here, this lovely lady. She's embroidered all of our ham merchandise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Welcome.
Tell us, what is your favorite part about being a grandma?
Oh, wow. I love my grandkids to death. They make you feel young, and too many, you have to be really patient, which I never had.
Do you think? Speak up a little bit.
Oh, okay, sorry. Oh.
Do you think you're more patient with your grandkids now than you were when you were parenting Giselle and them? Why is that?
Because when they're your kids, you snap at them, like if they do something, right? But the grandkids, you just go, oh, that's okay.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, you murdered someone?
That's okay. You can go back to your mom and dad's house.
Here's a jar of Nutella, Ava, because I know you don't have Nutella at home.
Yeah, you get to spoil them because you can. Like, they won't get mad at you. You don't care about the parents.
Oh, see, they don't care about the parents.
There you go. You know,
like when you spoil them, you just give it right back after, right?
That's true. I actually do that to her with Ava.
She eats all Jaden's snacks.
I just give her all the snacks. I'm like, here's your daughter back. See you later. And plus some snacks in her backpack.
Because they're a joy to us. Like, it's only me and Tito Ernie, right?
Yeah.
So when they come to the house, they make you feel alive. Like the house is, full of energy. But then when they're gone, it's like, it's just the 2 of us. tired of Tito Ernie's face.
You're tired of that face? Why don't you pull your mask down? You're tired of that face?
So yeah, the kids are, I don't know, the grandkids are really different from your kids.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So we talk about spanking on our podcast. Why is it that our parents follow means spanking, but they don't do it to their grandkids? Why? How come you guys don't do it?
You feel so guilty.
But you don't feel guilty for these faces? I'm just saying.
It's different when you have grandkids, because I don't know, you have to spoil them, because you don't live that long to, like, for example, me, I'm so lucky because I was young enough to take care of them, right? So for me, while I'm still on earth, I wanted to have precious time with them instead of, being
Also,
mean to them.
Spanking is not allowed now.
Yes,
It's not.
it's called abuse.
Yeah. Oh, there's her famous eye roll.
Oh, by the way, you should zoom in. We actually wanted to see you. Hey, Brian, all the times that you say you're going to put that counter on us, where how many times I drop an F-bomb, you should do a counter of how many times my aunt rolls her eyes.
Yeah.
So
We
you
always
should.
laugh. That's her signature thing.
That's her signature thing. So tell us who your favorite child is and why. Not your grandkids, your favorite child.
She's like, are you really going to ask me that question?
Let's get real for 1 second, okay? Our parents say they don't have favorite children. There is always one. There's always one that's a one-up. Like one little golden child.
When I saw that question, I said, oh, really?
You're not going to answer that? Who's the one?
I don't have.
Okay. Let's rephrase the question. Out of all 3 kids you have,
Oh,
who's the
really?
one who gave you the less headache growing up?
The least.
All
The
give
least.
us a headache.
Equal amounts of headaches?
No, but they're also different. They have different personalities. So you can't, when I'm mad at her, for example, you're not my favorite anymore. It's Jordan and Chelsea. Or if I'm mad at Jordan, I go, you suck. So these two are.
You suck. So I like the other two. Well,
Yeah,
we can't
there's
relate because we
some.
have only one child, but
Yeah, I can't relate to that one.
They're all different. Like, I don't know. To me, they're just precious, I guess. Yeah, I'm lucky I get to have 3 kids, right? So as much as possible, you try to love them like differently because they have different personality. Like for her and Chelsea are sassy. You call it
Where do you
sassy
think
now?
she gets that from?
Yeah, Mom, where did I get that from?
I don't know.
I always say Ava gets her sass from Mark. You sassy thing, you.
Oh, I feel so sorry for you, Mark. So let's fast forward a little bit. So I don't know if you guys have, Heart as a Mother has literally done a few interviews. It's been amazing of all the opportunities that we have been able to get. So Giselle actually went on to CBC News and she did an interview, which was a bit controversial. And I have to say, it kind of rattled Giselle. Like, she was not, like, this is the thing that she battles with, and we talk about it on our podcast. And after coming out of this interview, she felt great. She felt like her voice was heard. But there's a couple people who didn't feel like what she was misunderstood. So I wanted to ask you, we want to address the CBC News interview Giselle did on the topic of toxic Asian culture. Some of the older community took it the wrong way in that they thought we were bashing their generation. What did you think about what she said on the interview? Did you take offense to it?
I had to watch it over and over because when I first watched it, I was kind of upset. I said, why is she bashing her parents? So I said, oh my God, people, you know how Filipinos are, they're judgmental, right?
There are,
Which
and
was the
that's
point-
it.
which was the point of the interview.
That's the reason why it's toxic Asian culture, because Filipino people are the judgiest people.
Yes.
They can't tell you shit to your face, but they'll tell it behind your
Other
back.
people, yes.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So I thought, well, now that maybe other people or some of my friends have heard what she said, and they'll say, oh my God, that's the kind of parents she has. And I said, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed now. But then when I played it over and over, I said, oh no, she's just saying stuff about our generation and the generation before us. But we grew up like that. Like when parents do stuff, like my parents, they're really, really strict. So I guess they got that from the generation before them, and it never changes because we just accept it, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like for you guys are, I'm really proud of you guys because you guys are so brave enough to deal with this kind of situation. But yeah, I told her when I called her, I said, why did you go on that CBS interview? CBC, whatever. And I said, someone told me that we're toxic parents. And I said, no, we're not. If you play it back, you would know that she's talking about our generations, like in general, not just like us, but I don't know, people have, what do you call this? Close-minded.
Yeah, close-minded.
Because like especially the people who are in they like the tradition not to be broken, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I think that's how they discipline their kids. Like if you're too lenient, then they'll probably say, oh, my kids will do drugs, my kids will do this and whatever. So I think that's why they're like that. And we're like that.
So for the fact that somebody went and told my mom, your daughter's here talking about you, saying you're toxic, blah, 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 totally just proves our point of toxic Asian culture. So
yeah, and so she told me she was going to go to another interview, right?
Yeah.
And she decided not to because people get offended, and they probably just like she's
I did feel
afraid that people
discouraged,
will get mad at me or whatever. And you know how Filipinos are. They
So just to give the audience a little bit of context, I know that Giselle and I post all these funny things, like we're waxing our faces outside in the parking lot, things like that. But you guys actually, like the one thing that our production team asks of us is to be more vulnerable, to share our space, our intimate space. There has been countless times where, let's just say that this year and last year, I have cried so much that I can't even believe how much I cried, and I'm not a crier. But the things that we have to go through and face and have self-realization and trying to figure out if what we're saying and voicing out is worth it. Because we're getting out of the boundaries with what we were taught as when we were younger.
Yeah. And I think, well, that's the point really of this podcast and all the interviews we do, is just to spread the word and hopefully help other people who are going through the same thing. And it's a really big privilege to have a platform to do that.
So I want to ask Giselle this. I know you felt good with the interview and you felt like your voice was heard. I'm so proud of you that you're continuously, trying to shed light on Asian toxic culture. Even when there's times that Giselle doesn't want to. I told her before coming onto this podcast is, I don't know if you guys all know, Giselle and I are cousins, that I'm gonna push her in places that she's gonna be uncomfortable in, and I hope that she does that. And I really truly feel that when you go into relationships with people, it doesn't matter whether it's romantic or whatever relationship it is, you guys have to serve that purpose with each other. You have to it should never be one-sided. So we want to continue making these changes. So Giselle, I'm going to ask you, how do you think we are going to bridge the generational gap? Or do you think we can as we're still living? Or do you think that's we'll make traction, but that torch needs to be passed on to our children?
I 100% think we can bridge that generational gap. And I think that if this interview didn't come out, a lot of it would still be in the shadows when it comes to my relationship with my parents. And like with my mom, I felt better having talked to her after that. Yeah, I did feel really discouraged because I was like, man, people are still talking about it. People are telling my mom this and that. Like, I don't care what people think. For the record, I don't give a shit. If I cared what people thought, I wouldn't be here talking. But I do care when people talk about my mom and tell my mom things that are not true. So that's the only reason why I was discouraged. But like CBC now has a Filipino relations officer who is in charge of like uncovering all these stories about the Filipino culture in Calgary, and they're doing a really good job. And I think a lot of parents or older generation Filipinos who see that are like, okay, maybe it's time we take our kids' opinions seriously, and you know, it's time that we make a change because things are not as they used to be.
Do you think that now Giselle has this podcast and she, I don't want to say opinionated, but she's come out challenging certain things that you have taught and what my uncle has taught. Do you take offense to some of those things, or is that a learning thing that you're doing with Giselle together?
I think it's a learning process for us, our old generation, right? Because back then, we can't talk like you guys can. Like we're not allowed. Like if you talk back to your parents, you're just like, oh, I'm in trouble now.
Yeah.
You know how it is now. Like you guys can say your opinion to other people, unlike us. We can't. It's not like that before. Before it's, I don't know. Parents are different back then than now. I guess parents now are more lenient. They try to talk to their kids more. They're more open to their kids than before. So this podcast, it's a learning process for everyone, for other moms, especially other moms. Yeah. So yeah.
So
it's good.
I'm gonna ask. Time's almost up. But one thing I want to ask you though. We talk about childhood trauma and that trauma affects us as adults, because Giselle and I talk about our childhood trauma, and like I'm saying, it's not necessarily reflecting on you or my uncle or even my own parents. It's just something that you guys have learned has passed. So and it affects us. So is there a childhood trauma that you've been battling as an adult, and what is it?
Well, my parents were really strict, especially my dad. And I think I got married early because of that. I wanted to get out of the house because they're so strict. Like they're lucky that we're not that strict with. I told when I had my first baby, I said I won't be
taking that step too. But you know, she'll get there, I hope. And learning together. But before we go, I want to ask you, what is the one thing you are proudest of Giselle for?
She's brave. I'm jealous because she could do anything she wants. Unlike our generation, we can't, right? Because, you know, we would think what my parents would do, or we're not allowed to do this, we're not allowed to do that. But now I try, for all my kids, I try for them to express themselves like more. I think, but yeah, she's really brave for when she was 14, she already got her learners, and 16 she already got her driver's license, and every time she works, she goes off on a vacation after she have enough money to go on vacation. Like for me, I couldn't do that because I was afraid because I'm by myself to go to places. Plus, my parents wouldn't let me because they were really, strict. So for me, I'm happy that she can do whatever she can, and I support her. Like, this is fun, I think.
It is fun.
Yeah, super fun.
We're gonna get you guys back on here. We gotta get more. We gotta get more dirt on
I thought
Giselle.
I was supposed to cook.
You are cooking after
Future
this. What are you
episode.
talking about?
I thought it was a cooking show.
All right. Thank you so much, Mom. And I
right.
want to thank you for always taking my side and being my biggest support in everything I do.
Welcome.
Watch out for my mom. She has her own kids' clothing line coming out. Thank you,
All right.
Mom.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you later.
Okay. So, our next guest. For those who have not watched Patricio's episode, he grew up in a normal, loving family, went to school, graduated, started his career, fell in love, got married, had a baby, all the normal things that people go through. Except Patricio was struggling internally with who he really was, and finally spoke his truth openly and came out with his family and friends that he was gay. So let's take a look at Patrick's clip from when he was on our show.
No, I'll never forget. And one time, and I swore to myself I would never like put myself in the situation, and I would never allow myself to be made a fool of like that again. You know what I mean? I remember I got like cornered in gym class in junior high, and this guy just, you know, he's just like picking on me, calling me a fag and all this shit and all this stuff. And I thought to myself, like, fuck this, I'm going to stick up for myself this one time. And I was just like, fuck you. And he's like, well, what are you going to do about it, fag? And then he just kept like smacking me in the face. And like, I swear to God, like the crowd of people just like behind him, like watching, like, you know what I mean?
Hello.
Welcome back.
How are you guys?
Good.
I love your like wavy hair and everything.
Thank you. It's too long, you know, quarantine hair.
Quarantine hair.
So thanks for joining us. So I don't know if you know this, but this episode that we did, Pride Parent, was a monumental one for our heart as a mother. People reached out to us telling us how it's changed their lives. And they want to do better as parents. And they realize they need to teach their kids to be good people. Tell us what happened since the episode aired.
By the way, it's the most watched, by the way, on
Thank
YouTube.
you. No,
So that's
awesome.
amazing.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me on the show. Well, I received a lot of messages after the show aired. I shared it on my platforms, obviously, and the messages that I received were all warm, loving. I cried with a lot of them. I received phone calls from people like all over the world, like even friends from junior high that were currently living like in Hong Kong. One of my friends reached
Shout out Hong Kong.
Alan.
Hi, Alan. I know you're streaming.
So yeah, like it was great, a great response after the episode aired. So thank you guys for having me. Yeah.
Did you think you were gonna get that much response coming onto our little podcast at the time?
No, not at all.
I didn't think so
I was
either.
Just, you know, just doing my thing, being a part of the team here or whatever, and I'm glad I had the opportunity to share my story, and yeah, your platform to tell my story and you know, my life.
Yeah, and it was the pleasure was all ours. Like I couldn't even, when you told us about the kind of responses you were getting and the screenshots, like I cried. I was like, I can't believe that. Yeah. That's amazing.
And that's the reason why we do this podcast. Like, parenting is hard, and anybody who says it's easy, you guys lying, okay? It's hard, you know, and there's moments where it can be easy, but you know, it's hard, you know.
Did your son watch the episode?
Yeah. Did he watch it?
He's, you know, Mateo's about like Fortnite. So if it's not about Fortnite and V-Bucks and all that stuff, he'll like be watching it for a bit, but he's fully aware of it. He was all like, Dad, your podcast and blah, blah, blah. So we talked about it, and but I don't think he's set for the whole hour to sit and watch the whole thing. But like I said, if it's not about Fortnite, he's not really like into it. So
Did Jenna watch it?
I'm not sure. I haven't really asked her. I asked her, like, I obviously shared it with her. I encouraged her to watch it, but obviously things at her own pace. I let her do her thing, but I haven't checked in lately to see if she has watched it.
Jenna is his baby mama.
Yeah. And by the way, Jenna, if you're streaming, our door is always open for you on these couches. Anytime.
Yeah.
I tell her all the time, don't worry. It's like the girls still want you on the show. So.
We do. We're waiting, Jenna.
Yeah. It's all about timing, Jenna. So we'll be waiting for you.
Yeah. So we want to dial it back and talk about the responses you've received, because there was one in particular where someone actually reached out to you and apologized for contributing any pain they'd caused you when you were kids. And we have him here in studio.
Imagine we have this guy on studio.
Yeah.
It is mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's really courageous actually that he's even here. So, without further ado, Ryan, come join us on the couches. Hi, Ryan.
Hello.
So, did you ever think you would be sitting on the couch next to Patricio here?
It's been years, but no, it's been a crazy ride.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah, definitely wasn't expecting a message from Ryan.
Yeah.
But
So, Ryan, how did you get wind of Patrick's episode?
Alan. Yeah. Alan sent it to me, and I was at work. I was in a meeting, and I thought it was just one of Alan's dumb videos. that he
YouTube
sends,
videos?
because that's Alan. And I went home, and I got two little ones. So with the chaos going on, I started watching. I was like, oh, it's Harleen. I was like, oh, it's Patrick. So I don't know. I just kept watching, and as I started to dive in deeper, I was like, whoa. This is deeper than I thought, so I kind of got a little hooked there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did it, like what made you decide to want to reach out?
Well, because, I mean, you know, you remember things as a kid. You remember most of the good times, but you don't remember the bad times. And I think with somebody like Patrick, I remember being mean, but I didn't have a lot of memories as to what was going on. And when I saw that podcast, it like hit me. It broke my heart, because he had a memory from so long ago. You know, like what, 12, 13 years old. So I felt like I needed to reach out, because times have changed, I've changed, and I felt like it was the right thing to do.
And you have kids of your own, like you said, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, okay. So Ryan.
Yes, Harley.
Oh God.
You're such a shit.
Hey, not a shit. You were apprehensive coming onto the show. Tell us why.
Well, I'm not into the whole social media thing. I'm not on Instagram. I'm barely on Facebook. So it's just, and I'm shy. I know you think I'm not, but
Ryan was not shy
when
when
this
we
is
were
going on, I'm shy.
He really wasn't shy, though.
Okay, fine. Today he's shy.
Yeah, no, but
No, I just, yeah, it was a little scary, but.
Do you think fatherhood has changed that a little bit for you?
Fatherhood I think it's made me more patient. Don't get me wrong, my kids can drive me nuts.
Oh, yeah?
But,
Yeah, we know.
We know.
like, I can't even make up the stories and the things they do. But I think that what it's done is it's made you think about life. Like, what if my kids are in Patrick's situation? What if one of my kids is in Patrick's situation? I don't want them to feel like they need to live a lie. So that was one of the reasons why I think I need to come on.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say we super appreciate you being here. Yeah. So, guys, let's say that people don't normally do this. They don't come out and say, I'm going to come on your show. I'm going to admit my flaws and my faults. He was a kid. He's a different person. And you could totally fix and change your ways. You're not the same person. So thank you so much for coming onto the show and being super courageous. Because it's not easy. Because I probably wouldn't have done it. I'm just being honest. Like, I probably wouldn't have. So it takes a lot of courage. I mean, for both of you guys.
Yeah.
Sitting in a million years, sitting on the same couch.
Right. So, Patrick, what was your initial reaction when you got that message from Ryan?
Geez, I don't know. It was a mixed. I was
Drink for
a
this.
lot of emotions, honestly.
Yeah, I got a drink for this
think
one.
I legitimately cried for not like a lot, but like I shed a tear because it was something that, you know, stuff that happened in junior high, like just all came back. But then I was like really happy, you know, really happy to see the change in people, and like Ryan said, and like his mentality, like he's got kids now, he's got boys that he's got to look out for too, and like what if one of his boys is in my situation?
Yeah.
And I'm sure none of us want our kids to be in that kind of situation, right? Which is important, why we encourage our kids to be kind, to love one another, and just like, I don't know, just be there for each other. So yeah, it was, I'd never expected in a million years to receive a message from Ryan. Like, you know, it was just something that was surprising. And then just, like I said, I've received tons of messages and like DMs and text message, phone calls and stuff, but the one obviously that stuck out was Ryan. So yeah, thanks.
So I'm gonna ask both of you, what is your relationship like today?
Well, since the podcast, we've gone out for drinks. Like when things were open, we were going out for drinks quite often. So yeah, like we chat quite a bit, touch base, see how the boys are doing, you know, just like regular friends typically do, you know.
Ryan, you and I have had conversations, and you had said that you want to get to know Patrick, and I thought that was so huge of you. Why is it important to get to know him for who he is today versus back then when we were kids?
I think a big part of it is like how I was when I was a kid is a lot different, and people are different, and the world's different. I think that with Patrick, like, you know, what went down, it's not like you can just, you know, sweep it under the rug, but I feel like I need to get to know him on a higher level, because I feel like I need to show him that I give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's a part of it.
Yeah.
That's partly why I'm here, or I
So-
wouldn't be here.
So there's a question from the audience, Ryan. If your kid was in that situation, what would you teach him, and what has changed?
If my kid was in Patrick's situation, that it's okay. What are you gonna do? Like, Patrick can't change who he is. If one of my kids is in that situation, then he can't change who he is.
Yeah.
You gotta accept it and help him out and be his dad.
Support,
Yeah, support, be his friend.
Yeah. So since you guys have gone out for drinks and shared stories, what's one thing you've learned about Patrick?
Do you really want to answer the question?
Just one thing? Ryan, keep that PG right now.
Yeah, who's watching?
Patrick is a funny dude, and he has ridiculously funny stories. And
Guys, when COVID's over, I swear to God, we're gonna throw the biggest party, and Patricio has the best stories ever.
He's a funny guy. He's a caring guy, and like it's awesome to get things from the other side, like life's challenges from the other side. Just hearing a whole different side of things is awesome. But you're a funny guy. Like, I haven't laughed so hard going out for drinks with Patrick and yourself. Like, you're a little shit, but
I agree. King always give Ryan a hard time. That's why he says I'm a little shit. So Patrick, tell me what you've learned about Ryan since you guys have reconnected since you were kids.
He's not the asshole that he was back in the day. you
Okay,
know?
first of all, Ryan even said to both of us and said, "Oh, I keep looking here." So today we were teasing Ryan, and he was like, "You guys have to be nice to me when you come on here." But we were teasing him because he was definitely nervous coming on. So, but
super nervous.
Yeah, no, just Brian's good guy, good dad, obviously, especially if he has the mentality that he does nowadays, growing up, raising his boys. To be respectable human beings and decent human beings, no matter who they come across in life, you know, because that's important. Because you never know what struggles other people are going through. And I know it sounds so cliche. Everyone says it all the time, but it's so true. Like I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you guys are going through. So it's just important to be nice, you know?
Yeah.
And just to be kind. And that's an important message to pass on to all of our kids.
Yeah, and I think anybody who watched your episode, which is like still the most watched episode on our channel, can take away from that. And that's amazing that you can touch so many people, especially someone you have history with from junior high.
Yeah.
Now you're sitting on the couch together.
Yeah.
So when we talk about self-awareness, I'm going to ask both of you guys, what do you want to tell parents out there when it comes to teaching your children about kindness and bullying? So a little bit of context is when I was growing up, we never talked about that. Did your parents ever talk about like be nice to people, like be
My
treated?
parents did.
I mean, yeah, my parents said that, but also like I saw tendencies from my parents that were pretty assholey, and I picked up some of those assholey thingies, and I've learned some of those behaviors that it's so hard to, and I'm going to admit, it's hard to break that habit. Like I catch myself, it's like, oh my God, really, Harleen, again. So like, what would you be teaching your kids, or what would you be saying?
I know it sounds so like cliche, but like treat others like you want to be treated. You know, at the end of the day, you want what you put out in life is what you're going to get in return. So if you want, you know, if you want like nothing but happiness and love and all that sort of stuff, then just, you know, shower people with that kind of stuff. That's basically all I can say. My parents always told me that, you know, treat people like how you want to be treated. Think of your grandparents, think of your cousins, think of people when you're talking to somebody, you know, think of their situations and stuff like that. Put yourself in other people's shoes. It's important to see things from other people's point of views, because like I said, it's yeah, we're all involved in our own lives. We all have our own things going on, but we also have to be aware of other people and what they're feeling, you know, because it's important. Because your actions might affect somebody today or tomorrow, right?
Yeah. So Ryan, is that something that you've always told your kids, or did it kind of change after seeing Patrick's episode and you were like, shit, I should sit down with my kids and kind of talk about the things that I've learned?
It probably changed before that, but seeing the episode, again, it really struck me. I think the thing is yes, what I do, my kids are gonna do. So I guess I gotta be a leader, and I gotta show them the proper way to go about life, and be nice to people and be kind to people, because like Patrick said, everybody's in a different situation.
Oh, Charlie, we ain't gonna tell you what we did after the drinks. You're gonna have to come out next time when we go out for drinks. Then you'll find out what we do after the drinks.
Also, that's really small. We can't really see it. How you guys give us the questions?
Okay,
before
hold on.
It's Charlie talking smack.
Patrick is a beautiful person, big heart. He's my perfect baby. My life is so proud of you. Is that your mom?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Okay, first of all, you raised an amazing son. He's so awesome.
That's so sweet.
Thanks, Mom. Love you.
Thanks, Patrick's mom.
Okay, what else is there? Sorry, we can't see. Is that cake real? Can you save me some?
It is real.
Yes, it is real.
We can save you.
We
Who
can
said
save
that?
you. We can save you that.
Who said that?
Christine.
Of course she said that. Christine, you're gonna get diabetes. Stop it.
Okay, so Alan, when I saw the episode, I was deeply moved. I shared with others and was so proud that Ryan took the extra step and beyond to reach out. Even myself, I had to take accountability and contact Patrick. By the way, Alan lives all the way in Hong Kong, and he has reached out to Patrick.
Sit down because they can't see your
Oh,
face.
I'm sorry.
She's so drunk.
Yeah, so thanks, Alan.
Yes. Thanks, Alan.
And thank you, Alan, for behaving. We appreciate that. So thank you so much, Patrick and Ryan, for coming onto the show. I always think there's no humanity left, but when I see things like this, I really see hope, and I want to keep pushing and striving for teaching Jaden to do the right thing, even when no one's looking.
Yeah, and thank you guys so much. You are, the stories like these that you guys have shared with us are the reason why we want to wake up every day and continue advocating for our kids and for a better world because of, you know, stories like this. So your bravery is really appreciated, and your vulnerability. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
But before we go, because I'm always the, but before we go, have you guys noticed that? I say that all the time. Patrick and Ryan, tell everybody what type of person you are today.
Oh,
I don't really like that.
Loving,
where do I start?
funny person. I don't know. If you get to know me, I'm pretty committed and loyal to my friends and my family. If you treat me well, I'll treat you well, but don't cross me. But other than that, like, I mean, I don't know. My parents always taught me to be a good person, so I always try to go about life with a smile on my face and treating everyone as kind as possible. I know I'm not the perfect person all the time, but I sure do try.
All right, I guess it's my turn.
You're up.
I'm pretty quiet and reserved these days, and
Ryan's been living under a rock, by the way.
I
We've
live
been
under a
teasing
rock.
him. Just kidding. I'm kidding, Ryan.
No, we have a busy life. My wife works as well, so you know, it's the boys, and we added a puppy, and it's all about the family, and we're just busy. I'm busy, but I'm quiet, and I'm reserved, and I don't do stuff like this, so.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, guys, it's never too late to make amends for mistakes that you have done in the past. And this is like a friendship that's blossomed. I'm so excited. And I applaud you, Ryan. And I can't wait for more drinks. Hurry up, Kenny, let us out. Okay, guys, so you know that all of this doesn't happen without a production team. We have a team that makes us look good. We wanted to show you that what our production team has to deal with every time Jizzy and Har, or whatever we're doing, has to put up with.
Yeah, let's take a look at our behind the scenes of Ham. There is never a dull moment with Studio Luma, and we want to acknowledge the people that put up with our shit and make our creative ideas come to life. So first and foremost, Brian Pham, wherever you are, our creative director, he's a hard ass with a nice ass. He's received...
Brian, where are you? We just complimented you. Where is he?
He received that title of Brian with a good bum from one of our past guests, and he's been reveling in it ever since. AJ Maddie, the wine pourer and Kleenex provider, the one who listens to endless inappropriate conversations between her and I. And also, he's a great wingman for her.
He really is, guys.
And he edits all our content, most importantly. No, go ahead. Okay. Ivan Lamb. We always say everyone needs an Ivan in their lives. So he is the brains behind basically everything. He's our tech guy. Hi, Ivan.
And sometimes he has to say no.
Hello.
He does. He has to tell us when we're being
Sometimes
unreasonable.
a little bit, yeah.
He doesn't like it, right?
Very-
You don't
very
like telling
often.
us no?
I don't like telling you guys no, but I like to do everything I can to make this all a success and what it is.
A lot of the times,
you guys can see this today.
A lot of the times we
I'll just
say
do
yes
this.
and figure it out after.
We'll figure it out after.
Yeah. Well, you've done a great job. You've done so much.
Oh,
for us.
Brian with the good bums coming. Can you do a squat right here?
Here comes the hard ass.
Here
of
we
the
go.
night.
He's coming. He's making an appearance. He's gonna make a squat.
Yay.
Are you gonna squat?
Oh my god. And also, hi Brian.
Hi.
And we have Tony, who does all the audio on live events for Studio Luma.
He's currently
So he's
controlling
currently
the audio.
controlling everything.
He's
since these
controlling
guys are
everything.
here. And he also does the studio social media. So now that we have you guys in the hot seat,
Yes.
it's time to play.
Oh, we're playing.
We're
Oh,
playing.
Okay,
We are.
okay, hold up one second.
Okay.
Hold
Actually,
up.
we're gonna
start wearing my hats, guys.
Oh, good.
You know what? While you're at it, take some of these, cause you know.
Okay, here you guys. Okay, so we are gonna ask you. We wanted to play a game with these guys, saying, "How well do you know your ham girls?" During Meet the Mamas Part 2. Oh my God, you guys! Shh. See what I'm talking about? Okay, during Meet the Mamas Part 2, what does Giselle's spouse call her? Ivan, what does Mark call Giselle?
Yo, mama.
No.
You better not call me that.
Giselle's spouse is imaginary, so he doesn't actually call her anything.
He's gonna take that
Where?
seriously.
Where? I can't see. I can't see. Who?
Someone
Who is
says
that?
you're still flexing that Nike
Is it the guy
vest.
with the mask?
Yeah, that's him.
There's a lot of guys with masks.
Oh my god. Oh, it's not my dad. My dad's over there. Oh, shit.
I can't remember.
Okay.
I'm drunk.
It's Big J. It's Big J.
It's Big J.
Yeah.
What does
Oh, we're gonna say Big G.
Big Juicies.
Oh, big G spot.
What? No.
Oh,
Big J.
God,
Okay.
God.
Okay, if you guys get this wrong, I am going to be super disappointed. How does Har like her coffee?
Oh, I know this one.
Wink, wink.
Very Irish. No?
She likes the coffee.
Hendrix in it.
With Hendrix in
You
it.
would
She
think.
likes the coffee mate.
So, the creamer, eh?
Creamer.
Yeah, you guys are actually right.
Context. She likes white guys.
Any single white guys slide right into the DMs. Just kidding, my son's here. I'm trying to teach him good things, guys. Okay, guys. So, do you guys recall on Meet the Mamas Part 2, Jizzy hurt herself during New Year's of 2019. How did she hurt herself?
I want to say drinking.
No.
She sprained her ankle.
Oh, broke her ankle.
No.
Do I have to say it? My mom.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna
She
say it.
slipped off a curb.
No.
Oh, she got like a hit her head or something like that.
No. Oh, no. She actually pulled her groin.
Coochie. I was gonna say coochie.
Close to, but do you know why she hurt her coochie, or close to her coochie, is because she was trying compromising positions. Sorry, my aunt and uncle are here.
I was gonna say.
If you didn't see me on New Year's Eve in 2019, that was why, okay? I lied to my chiropractor. and
With
said it
her
was from
imaginary
spin.
boyfriend.
Yes, my imaginary boyfriend, who's right there.
Imaginary
Magic
boyfriend.
wand.
Anyways, next question. We hosted a She event, shout out CNC, and our audience spoke about specific pH levels. Do you know what the pH levels were that they were referring to?
Oh.
Coochie.
Coochie.
Yes.
100%.
Good job.
How do you guys know
It
this?
was the vagina, the pH of the vagina.
pH levels of vagina.
very
We were talking
Most of
about
Brian's
vagina
answers are going to
sprays.
be the same thing.
It's very. I heard it was supposed to be acidic.
How do you know?
Because you don't want it some basic bitch.
You hear that? If your coochie is acidic, that means you ain't basic, bitch.
So that's good. That's a good thing.
By the way, we also have somebody who asked, anybody sitting on this panel here single on this couch? Somebody asking for a friend.
Mr. Pham?
Not me.
Not me.
I'm currently off the market.
Are you asking because he's the hard ass with a good ass and his nickname is Brian with the good bum?
FamWow. At FamWow.
No comment. No comment.
Did he say no
Tell
comment?
us in the comments if you want Brian to do a squat
Yo,
for
slide
you
into
because
the
he will
DMs.
do it.
Okay, it's at FamWow. Slide right into his DM. And somebody also wants to know if you could do a squat right now. They want to see this good bum.
Twerk for the.
Who wants to see me do a squat?
It's in the. Somebody asked. We gotta give the audience what they want.
That's Catherine.
Catherine. Is that Catherine?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, Catherine.
But we also polled our audience and they said,
hard to
can
see
you
from
please ask Brian to do a squat on the show? Here we go.
See the technique.
Do your
No,
screen
you gotta
record.
come-
You're not
you gotta
even in
come-
the.
Come into the shot.
Right here. Can you see it? Right there. I
there's-
hope Reggie's watching.
Squat. Someone said
Squat.
squat.
I can't.
Yeah, you do. You haven't seen Reggie. Lower.
After
Do you
the
see that
grass.
good butt? There you go. See.
Yay.
Oh, good job. Good job. Good job.
That was
Nailed
a nice
it.
squat.
You nailed that.
Nice squat. All right.
What's next, guys?
Okay. Who was Jizzy's first kiss and what grade was she in?
Ooh, it was a girl.
How old are you now?
How do I look?
Was it Mark?
You look
No,
like
it
you're
wasn't
28.
Mark. Mark, you were not her first kiss.
He
were you?
said no. Sorry, babe, you weren't. You know that.
I was.
Brian said I look 28, just for the record.
Okay, so her first kiss was 27. And what was the second part to that question?
What grade was he in?
Grade-
Okay, what grade is he in when he's 27 years old?
You guys have learned nothing.
How old was your kid when you were 27? What grade?
She was not born.
27?
No.
What, how old are you now?
How do I look?
I thought you said 28.
28.
I'm sticking
No,
with 28.
Mo
28,
said.
28, say 28.
Let's just keep it at 28.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the boy's name was Travis. Shout out Travis, he's a creamer. And if you are out there watching, if you're single, I'm single, hit me up. And they were in grade 6. By the way, you just told your parents that's listening, you were kissing when you were in
27.
grade 6.
When you were 27,
27.
we confirmed it.
I was 27 when I had my first
Kissing a
kiss.
grade 2 year old.
All right.
A grade 2-year-old.
Next question. Which one of us has slept in a pool of soy sauce?
That's Jizzy.
Why do you say that?
Because I think I remember the story, something about partying and then like a bathtub and then soy sauce.
My instinct, I want to say hard just because.
Ivan?
Who do you think it was?
wild.
I think just Jizzy's got the wild side that, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
The secretive wild side.
Freak a leak.
It's secretive wild side.
Actually, it was hard.
Yeah, because you know what? Jizzy was a fucking asshole
so
who
now-
left me in a fucking pool of soy
Okay,
sauce.
guys. Okay, now I have to tell the story. So, it was after the club, 3 a.m. Singapore Sam's. You know what I'm talking about.
Shout out Singapore Sam's.
And all I wanted to do was eat. Like after the club, that's all you want to do. And so we get there. She's passed out. When she's sleeping on the table at Singapore Sam's, and she knocks
That's a
over
lot
the
of
soy
soy
sauce.
sauce.
That's a lot of
And-
sauce. I was about to say.
She knocked over the entire bottle.
It took a week to take
and
the
she was
soy
just
sauce out
sleeping
of my
in
hair.
it. So, me being hungry and drunk, if you guys were hungry and drunk and your friend was sleeping in a pool of soy sauce and the food comes, would you take her to the bathroom and clean it or wait till after?
Well, it depends on the situation.
Yeah, I mean, I probably used the soy sauce.
Not going out drinking with these guys, that's for sure.
Well, there you go. You provided them a condiment.
Yeah, not going out drinking with these guys.
Well,
One day,
I'll
one
help
day,
you. I'll
guys,
help
one
you
day.
out. I'll be a wingman for you.
One day.
One day.
Wait, this was supposed to be a big
but
party.
you know what? Legit, you are the best wingman.
He is. He's such a good wingman.
This guy literally picked up a 25-year-old for me. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. Okay, guys.
I heard that guy ghosted you.
No, he actually called me and FaceTimed me, and then he just didn't like respond. So why FaceTime me? I didn't answer.
That sounds like ghosting.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever. I'm too good for him. My pH level is way too good for him.
It ain't
Anyways,
basic. Let's just
it
say
ain't
that.
basic. Let's say that.
All right. Thank you guys for playing, being such good sports. We want to thank you guys for making this all possible. Wait, before we go, is there any...
Tell us what's your favorite thing about working with us.
Nothing.
Of course Brian's going to say it. Brian's the meanest out of all of them.
I told you, he's the hard ass.
I think that it's the conversations that you're having with your guests. I'm really proud to be able to
listen to it,
be a part of helping you guys have conversations.
Do you ever get sick of us oversharing on here? Like, because you get to see everything before everyone else does.
No way. That's what keeps you guys real. You guys you're not different behind the camera than you are in front of the camera. You're the same people, and you have the same conversations. You want the same things. You don't pull any punches. And
Jayden,
that honesty
by the
is-
way, I do tell these guys if I'm on my period too. Like, guys, I gotta go to the
Let's
bathroom.
normalize this.
Like, I
that's
tell
just
them,
something
I
all
gotta go
women
change my
seem to
tampon.
do.
Hurry
We're all
up
synced
with this
now.
thing.
We're all in
Well,
sync
you know,
now.
we need
We're
to
all in sync.
normalize that conversation of speaking of periods. Okay, so is there anything you want to share with the audience about what's coming out of Studio Luma in the near future?
Well,
I'll let Ivan take this one away.
well, we're doing a lot of.
We need more hand actions out of you.
Oh, sorry. It's my sounds are moving. Okay,
That's
but-
me. Sorry, guys.
So we're
Tony's
doing a
telling
lot of exterior art, projection mapping, things coming to a place near you that you know very, very well, right? This is for Asian Heritage Month, and things we're doing is to make sure that Asians here are not feeling like forever immigrants and stuff like that. It's for a great cause. And we're doing a lot of multimedia projects with other initiatives too, all around the city. So we're gonna be popping up, and you guys are gonna be seeing good shows.
Yes, so hit them up, guys. Studio Luma, up and coming.
All right,
Thank
I gotta
you,
go back in first.
guys.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
guys.
Back to work.
Back to work.
Back to
Bye,
work.
bye, bye, bye. You know what? They don't know fucking shit about anything else, but they know fucking pH levels. Like, let's get fucking real for 1 second. This is bullshit. You guys edit our shit, and that's what you guys know out of everything we asked. Anyways, but I love you guys. So our last guest has been on a very long journey to become a mama. After being diagnosed with PCOS, we had her on the show on episode 5. Mo's gonna drop you guys that link. It's a really good one, where she shared her struggle to conceive.
She shared her struggle.
She sharded too. No, I'm just kidding. Recently, I'm just kidding, guys. It's me. Recently, her and her husband Steve welcomed their baby girl Elena. Elena. I'm sorry.
Let's
She's
take a
gonna
look
kill
at
me.
Barb's clip.
The whole next step about IVF is like a whole different stressor, and it's like just infertility in general, right? It's a very sensitive topic for a lot of people, and the struggle's real for people, and it's like people don't share it.
What's up?
So, we have another MILF
It's
sitting
been
right next to you.
forever.
I know. It's wild.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for coming back to the
Happy
show.
birthday, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
buying
you.
us all those coffees for our birthday.
Thanks for having me.
So yeah, you guys again haven't seen Barbara's episode. It's episode 5. Check it out. We weren't with Studio Luma when we recorded with her, so she's on
We're recording in our closets.
Yeah. So she's on our Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but just not on YouTube. So tell us what you're up to now, and tell us about Elena.
Elena. So she was born December 29th. A little bit early. I was 39 weeks when I had her, but so she's 4 months now, and it's
crazy.
Time is flying.
Yeah.
Like, it is crazy. Like, the concept of time is so weird now. Like, I don't get it.
I was just thinking, like, on the
Right?
way here, I was going through like the episode schedule, and when I was thinking about you, I was like, I remember clearly the day you came to my house and you told me you were pregnant, and you said hey, can I come by? I need to use your bathroom. I have to pee. And I was like, okay, that's a little far from where you live, but okay. So she came in, and then I remember crying together when you finally told me the news, because you were trying so hard and
for so long.
Yeah, for
well,
so long.
It felt like a really long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Like I've known you like forever.
Forever.
And I don't know if anybody heard that, but there was a new MILF that added to the roster. Like, look how gorgeous Barb is. Hey, hey.
She's not single.
She's not single.
Do not slip into her DMs.
I'm single. You can slide into my DM. Just
But
kidding,
only
my
if you're
son is
white.
here. Okay, so Barb, what's the hardest thing you've learned so far about being a mom? And what's the easiest?
Hardest thing? Honestly, like, I don't know. I think I have a lot of girlfriends who have had babies. Jizzy is huge in a lot of things I've learned as being a mom and kind of to help prepare me. So I think taking things as they come and not being so hard, but I think that's the hardest thing, is not being so hard on ourselves as not only as a mom, but as parents, because you just kind of have to go with the flow at some things, right? Like I know for me, I was just, and I know a lot of my girlfriends like that I talk to, they know, oh, I've read this. Like I read everything under the sun. And then when it doesn't go a certain way, I truly panic and I get anxious and I'm like, well, why isn't it going this way?
Yeah,
and I'm
I
just
went by the book. Yeah.
Absolutely, and I'm just so hard on myself, and I always have to remind myself to take a step back and be like, listen, she's learning, you're learning, Steve's learning, we're all, this is all brand new to us. So I mean, that's the hardest thing, is trying not to be so hard on ourselves. But the easiest thing is just, I don't know, loving her? I don't know, does that sound so cliche? Like,
No, I think we need to stop saying it's cliche. I mean, I even say it too, but it's...
So, it's so wild because you just, like, I've never thought I could love anything as much as I love her.
Cry. I know.
We cry all the time. Well, and Steph Lai says there's no perfect way to parent, and she's totally
Oh,
right.
shout out Steph, like, man.
And I know she was somebody you looked up to as well.
Hell yeah.
I do too, Steph. You're a beast at the mom game. Crazy.
She's OG, yeah, she's definitely, I've learned a lot from her as well. She's amazing, love you.
So in your episode,
Yeah.
we were talking about how people were always asking you what the next step was. It
Yeah.
was like, when are you getting engaged?
Totally.
When are you getting married? When are you having kids? And the kids thing
Yeah.
was huge for you because you were like, as much as you wanted to be like, oh, I'm going to have a kid soon, like it wasn't happening, and it was just very hurtful. So now that you do have a kid, what are people asking you now?
What do you guys think the next question is?
When are you having your baby?
Another baby.
For sure.
Yeah.
And again, it's not anyone being malicious. It's just the next question, right? Naturally. But I remember even being asked that question when I was still pregnant. Like, oh, when are you guys gonna have another? I'm like, can I pop this one out first? Or like,
Can you let me do my thing?
I know.
Yeah.
Or like even 2 weeks out, they're like, oh, are you guys gonna have another? I'm like, can my vagina heal? Like, sorry,
Yeah.
For real.
For
Like,
real.
But yeah, at this point in time, our answer would be, if it happens, it happens, because we struggled for so long. And I do often hear that after the first, it does get easier, but it could not. But if it doesn't happen, that's okay too, because we have Elena. Like, oh God, she's such a godsend. But I don't know, when does it, like, I'd have to, I always ask my girlfriends who have two, I'm like, when do you start wanting to have a second? Because right now I feel like I can't give any more love than I have other than to Elena. Like, yeah, so I don't know, but that's definitely the next question up,
For
right?
sure.
Yeah,
And
naturally.
like I have people ask me that all the time. And
Yeah.
actually I was talking to somebody about it today, about how to handle that situation. And
Yes.
she's like, well, why don't you just say, my vagina will get back to you? Because, that's your business.
Totally.
Yeah.
So what kind of adjustments did you and Steve have to make with having a newborn or baby now? Like, your lifestyle's probably changed.
It definitely has. I am huge on routine.
Yeah.
So that rocked our world a bit, especially like that cluster feeding. Yeah, I didn't, like I'm a nurse, but And a lot of people say to me, they're like, you know, you're a nurse, you should know. No, I'm a nurse for geriatrics. Like, it's very different. So I had no idea, cluster feeding. But my girlfriend, Erin, shout out Erin, her son is 6 months. He's going on to 6 months, I believe. And she gave me a heads up, like, hey, by the way, you should learn about cluster feeding. So after that heads up, it was just like, okay, so reality is I'm really not gonna sleep. And so, yeah, that was a big learning. It's just, yeah, that we're not sleeping for a little bit at least, but.
That's a given.
Yeah, and then once we got into the swing of things, we got into a routine. So, yeah, day in, day out. And you truly get lost in your days because you're just kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of routine, but that's okay. It's nice.
How do you and Steve still find time for each other?
She goes to sleep at like 7 now, so then after then we have a little bit of time together, which it's not as if we're doing a lot of crazy things, but yeah, it's just quality time together, right? Alone.
It's important.
And that's the other thing, sorry, to go back to answering your question, is that we can't just up and leave and do whatever we want at this point. It takes a lot of planning, a lot of backwards math, like with naps and everything. It's just, that's the biggest thing, is not being able to do whatever you want, whenever you want. We can still do those things, but it just takes that much more planning.
Like that you have never even imagined it before you had a kid, right?
No.
And like for me, I want to apologize for all my friends when they were saying like, no, I can't come out. It's so and so's bedtime. Yeah. And I'm like, really? Just bring her. And now I'm like, man, I'm an idiot. Why the fuck did I say that? Like, so I'm sorry for anyone who I was insensitive to. I think it was Connie, and I know you're watching. I'm sorry, Connie. You do you. So. We all know that new moms have to implement boundaries because now that you have a kid, you have to draw the line at people giving you advice or stepping in when they're not wanted. So what kind of boundaries have you had to set since having Elena?
I think the biggest thing, first of all, is taking advice with a grain of salt. Like, it's just, you have to take it gracefully, right? You can't be offended or anything because people are just excited to share what they experienced. But I don't know, I'm still learning that, actually. Sometimes when people say something at the time, I'm like, oh yeah, thank you. Like, but then once I drive away, I'm like, not raging, but it really impacts me. I'm just like, like, you know, like little things like, oh, holding baby spoils them. And I'm like, oh, okay, at the time. But then I'm driving away and I'm like, what? Like, you know, like.
What kind of piece of shit advice was that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. But that's okay. It's just, I get it.
Yeah.
But to each their own, and that's what it is. It's just the learning those boundaries. I'm not so much gonna snap back at them, but I'll say something. Like, actually, my mom, she's really surprised me. I thought she'd have a lot more opinions. But when she says something, I'm quick to tell her, like, that's actually not how it is now. Like a sleep sack or something, right?
Yeah.
Like, or sleeping on the tummy. Like, obviously, we want to put them on their back. If they want to sleep on their tummy, fine, whatever. But little things like that, it's like, well, studies show. And then I just tell her, and she's like, oh, okay. She's pretty responsive to that. It's not an argument or anything, but I think that's the boundary that we're talking about. It's just nipping it in the bud.
Yeah. So a few weeks ago, we polled our audience. I actually was, I went out for a run. I think it was like 11:30 or midnight because I had so much shit running through my head. So I posted a question on how do you relax or decompress? Well, Barb says, well, I just get my vibrator. But then you said, ... just joking, I didn't have one. So I messaged her, I said, you should get one. So since
Actually,
surprise, here's a big dildo.
No, but I did send you that link because it was on sale.
So did you give one, is Steve watching? And if you are, you should probably Google the rabbit. It's like the best.
Or the Lilo.
Yes. So what, you don't have one? What the hell?
Well, that just means she's being satisfied in other ways. To each their own.
True, true, true. So, speaking of Mother's Day, how was your first Mother's Day?
It was good.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. So we pierced her ears for Mother's Day.
Aww.
Yeah, super cute, right? But yeah. No, it was good. It was
Yeah.
good. It was nice. We're in a pandemic, so we
Yeah.
didn't get up to too much, but it was nice. It was just Steve.
But did you kind of
and I.
feel weird that people were wishing you a happy Mother's Day? Because that's not something you're used to, obviously, because you've never been greeted that before.
Totally. And
Yeah,
all my
I
close
felt that way
friends are
too.
like- all my close friends are like, this is weird.
Yeah, right? Saying happy Mother's or
Yeah.
hearing happy Mother's Day for the first time, you're like, shit, I'm a mother.
I'm a mom.
I'm a mom, yeah. People get to celebrate things coming out of my vagina today.
Yeah, for real.
Well, we know, Barb, that it took a lot of time for you to come here to shoot the shit with us. We are so excited to see more of your future endeavors, and when the pandemic hits, then we can properly meet your daughter.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Barb, and congratulations on your new bundle of joy. Before we sign off, tell everybody what is the one thing you hope she will learn from you and take with her in her adulthood.
Oh man, that's a good question. The biggest thing at this point in time, because this girl, like, you guys, she has so much personality already. Like, I didn't really think at 4 months.
She looks like it.
She is so funny. Like, I just want her to grow up knowing that just be yourself. Because, like, I don't know, I guess we've talked about it, that, like, confidence, right? Like, we've totally been knocked down, and that's okay, but that's what makes us us, right? But for her, I want her to grow up and be confident. I want her to grow up and be who she is, and really just, I think that's the biggest thing. And be kind. Like,
Yeah. Recurring theme, be kind.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, B.
Thanks, you guys.
We love you so much.
Love you guys.
Okay, so yeah, you can join everyone if you want.
Go have a drink. Oh, I was about like, hey, B, go have a drink, and then I forgot you're breastfeeding. So
Thanks,
ridiculous.
B.
Thank you. Love you.
Okay, that was really fun. Like, I am so happy with the way everything went. I'm so happy with everyone who showed up today and agreed to be on the show, and all the comments, you guys. Oh my God, thank you so much for joining the chat. We are reading it. Alan, you're very active today.
Super active. What time is it in Hong Kong right now?
Yeah.
Thank you for waking up early for us. We appreciate it.
And I want to shout out my friend in New Zealand, Nate, who said he was going to join in today too. That's a big time difference as well. So thank you, Nate. Okay, so before we sign off, we have a pretty long list of people we'd like to thank.
We'll try to bang it out in a couple of minutes here.
It takes a village here. So I want to thank Jordan Dino, my brother, who's the original creator of the Ham logo, as well as Xander Mello for the New Lips logo, which is now making its way onto merch and becoming an icon in the community. We totally love it. It's 10 a.m. in Hong Kong, by the way. Josh Bogue for our photographer who put up with so much of our shenanigans for an entire day. I don't know how you did it, but thank you. Rochelle and Nigel of Thursday Sounds, you guys have to check them out. It's at Thursday Sounds on IG. We have some exciting things coming at you from these guys. They are amazing. Again, Albert Mejia, Legal Hustle Clothing for the merch and just for being such a cool dude. Thank you so much, you guys, or thank you, Albert and family. DJ Dilly for our intro music, who is also expecting his first child, so congrats, Dilly.
Congratulations.
You will no doubt be a dope dad. And then you want to take over?
Yeah, so we want to thank our studio, Luma Fam, Steve, Mike, Matt, Nat, our cousin at Hey It's Friday Jr. Katrina, thank you so much for the endless, hi, can I talk to you for 5 minutes, which ends up to be 45 minutes because I have a silly question, and always be on our corner and offering help. Of course, our families, Giselle's baby daddy who's in the studio, the imaginary spouse, to my—
Can you come here so they know you're not imaginary,
so he's real. So who supported her hustle.
Get your ass over here.
We wanna thank my family. I wanna thank Jaden as well. Like I said, I can't come into these studios. Right there, say hi. Hi, hi. Guys, this is my fave. I told you guys. He's my favorite. Mark is my favorite. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Jaden. I really appreciate your patience and always supporting my hustle. Like, you are just an extraordinary child. Chloe and Cassie of CNC Event Design and other half of the She, see her empowered. Brian Morales, thank you for your endless effort and support. Our sounding board to our crazy ideas and stories, and putting up with the two of us hotboxing you wherever we may be. And when we say hotboxing, it's not weed. Jocelyn, our community manager, you are our soul sister. Rachel, you're our web designer, continuously working in the back end to ensure that everything runs smoothly. Brianne Mass, our Disney princess, she's now the official ambassador manager. She is way beyond her years. She was also on our podcast on episode 29. Be sure to check it out. And
I also just want to thank my friends, my day ones who've always believed in my podcast and just always just supported me. Thank you guys, Christine, Kat, Kiara, all you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. You believed in me. I'm not gonna cry.
She's not gonna cry. You can cry. You're allowed to cry. So guys, a couple more minutes. We have a few more exciting news coming out in the next couple of weeks. We have teamed up with One Body Village Canada. We are hosting our first annual Golf Classic tournament on Sunday, June 27th. One Body Village is a registered charity that supports at-risk and affected children of sexual abuse and exploitation in Southeast Asia. We will drop the link in the chat to register. Big shout out to Angela Nguyen, the president of One Body Village. Thank you for your thank you for continuing to advocate for the children. And early bird ends on May 15th, so be sure to register, otherwise the price goes up. So
also check out our episode from with One Body Village that we did. I think it was a couple of months ago. I think back in December. But check that out. I forgot which. Are you good? Oh, should I wait?
Is it rebooting? Go ahead.
Okay. We good? Is it going to take a minute?
Okay.
Oh, are we recording though?
Is it in the feed or no? Cake. Yes, it's real. That cake is real, you guys.
Hell yeah, we're gonna eat the cake.
No, not just a prop.
Are we on yet?
We're back. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Technical issue. Yeah, so check out that episode with Angela Nguyen. It's called A Voice for the Kids. I believe it's episode 20. I don't remember. But yeah, it's a good one if you want to know a little bit more about what Angela does and what One Body Village supports.
Yeah. So you guys are probably wondering what a ambassador is. We are looking for some badass parents out there to continue on helping us create an honest and candid space where we can share our hardships, victories, funny moments, hacks, laughter, and so much more. Make sure to visit our website and drop us a message. We'll be in touch with you. Mo will send the link. Just give us your number where we could reach you at, and we'll let you know how you could be a ham ambassador.
Yeah. And then for all the dads out there, we are so excited to be doing this. Be sure to tune in on June 14th, which is before the Monday before Father's Day, I believe. So it's going to be a Father's Day episode. We're dropping a spin-off of Heart as a Mother called the Dope Dad Collective. So more information on that coming your way in the coming weeks. So dads, if you're looking for something, you know, not all Heart as a Mother, this is for you.
Just letting you know, Patricio is actually going to be one of the panelists.
He is. He is going to be on the Dope Dad Collective. Same with Albert, and we'll release the rest later.
Yeah. So, go ahead. So thank you again. You can find our podcast on Spotify. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, subscribe. And First of all, for all the people who bought us coffees today, thank you,
Oh,
thank you
guys
so much. That means a ton to us. This is how we are able to give you the contents that you guys laugh all the time about. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. So I guess that's it for us.
That's
Ham
it.
Fam, thank you so much for joining our birthday episode. It was so much fun. Please be safe out there. Be kind. Whether you want to wear a mask or not, be vaccinated or not, doesn't matter. Whatever your opinion is, just be kind. You're allowed to have opinions. And remember to respect each other, even if you don't agree. Most importantly, love yourself, even on the hardest days.
Bye, guys.